step into my office. Now, my name is Reptile Riff, and I love to share my enthusiasm and my energy about how much I love wildlife and how we should conserve the environment that they live in. Because whether you realize it or not, you're living in the environment too, just from inside your house. Now, I want to get you closer and more intimate with these animals than people will really ever get. And I know about their behavior, and I understand how to take care of them in captivity and how to find them in the wild. And so I'm gonna make videos about both, where you can enjoy them with me and you can share this passion for wildlife. Now, I want you to share not just this video, but the facts you get to learn and the cool photos you'll get to see through our footage. So thank you for going on this adventure with me. Let's see what we find today. Today we're going to be taking care of a baby alligator. He's roughly less than a year old and he's pretty cute. His name is Cannoli. I think some of you may have already met him. Now we're going to take him out of here and then start to clean all this stuff up. Do a little bleaching of some water areas and change his mulch. Okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and get a container to put him in while we're busy taking care of his room. Okay, so we already unlocked my cage. We're getting ready with the new mulch. We got the little temporary holding cell for the baby gator. All right. Yikes. Now this is Cannoli. Now certain ways alligators can be handled and certain ways they cannot. You do not want to get bit by those jaws. Even at this age, he's only a year or so old, he can already rip skin off your finger, just like that. Look how handsome he is. He's hissing. It's one of the ways they tell you, I'm gonna bite you. Now look at his eyes, they're so beautiful. Now if you look at him, he's still a young alligator, so he's got all those striping colorations. Now when handling a gator, I always make sure I have at least control of the neck area or the chest area, because that's where a lot of their power comes from. You don't want to control where their power is going, you want to control the source of it. Now this water's kind of warm, so he's going to be much happier in here. Okay. Now he can jump kind of high. He maybe can kind of get out. I'm just going to keep my eye on him. Now check this out. This is our little pool for him. This is a wine cork. That's our plug. So we're going to let this drain out. Then I'm going to scrub it and give it a little bleach. Now, alligators really don't eat that often because they are cold-blooded animals. And so because of that, you really don't have to worry about cleaning too much, because they really don't even drink that often anyway. But it's good every once in a while to do a full water change, scrub it down, handle the animal a little bit, keeps them used to you. Now, if you have a baby alligator, like if you have a permit for one or you own one at home, which of course we don't ever recommend to anybody that doesn't have the proper qualifications, but baby alligators like to eat more than just like chicken and pork are pretty good for them. They do love that. Little tiny cuts. You want to give them stuff that they don't have to rip apart, because baby gators are not that strong. And he's got sharp teeth, but he doesn't have a lot of crushing power or ripping power. And so what you want to make sure you do is you can give them like a baby mouse or like a baby rat. Obviously, once the animal's already been put down, or you can get a frozen one from the pet store. And that's really good for them, because the organs of the mouse or rat are going to provide them with all the like vitamins and nutrients that they're going to need. I don't know if you guys hear the peacocks in the background. The natural ambiance. Now this land area is good because for any reason, sometimes alligators want to get up on land, especially the tinier ones, and they want to get up, they want to walk around, they want to get the optimum space of heat. And at this size, he really doesn't need very much space to swim around. And this is good for him to get lots of exercise because he's a growing boy, and so he needs that. Now, when he gets like 3 or 4 foot, he's gonna need more water, of course. So then he'll go in a tub like this, and then eventually, if I don't have enough space for him, I will give him to an alligator park or something like that. And usually I try to have a plan in place for these animals before I get them. I'm not squeezing him or anything like that. Now you can see I'm just trying to catch his balance. You see he's got a nice healthy tail. This is where they store a lot of their food preserves in their body, is in their tail. So if you see the gator, it's got a nice thick healthy tail compared to the rest of its body. It's doing pretty good, and it's not hungry. Now gators really only eat about once every 2 weeks or so in the wild, something the size of their mouth. But alligators in captivity, they'll eat every week if you offer, just don't offer too much. So he's ready to defend himself, and then quickly tends to relax. I think he's so cute. His little feet. Those beautiful markings. So those beautiful markings will actually keep the alligator looking like a bunch of shadows and grass over the water. And so that is the only thing keeping them protected from one of their main predators as babies, which are going to be birds, predatory birds. And they have excellent vision. So that vision is, that camouflage is not for like big gators, like people think big gators eat small gators, but it really doesn't happen that much at all, like almost ever. But anyway, what does eat a lot of baby gators are great blue herons, red-shouldered hawks, raccoons, things like that. Very visual creatures. So that's their best defense, besides staying next to daddy and mommy. So now I'm going to dump out that mulch. Obviously, I want to take the furniture out first because I don't want to crush my foot. Okay. Now, I just dumped this here because this is a very muddy area, and the more mulch we have here on the ground, the less we slip around over here. So this is really easy for me to clean, just like this. Get all the big stuff out, and then I'm gonna hose this all off, and maybe spray a little bleach, and then just scrub the whole thing with soap and water, just to get rid of bacteria. Because even though I really don't need to change this mulch right now, it's good that I do that. Now, people see gators in like some green water and they're like, oh my God, that's so gross. I would never like to be in water like that. But you're not an alligator. Alligators actually really like being in cloudy water because it makes them feel safe. It's not ideal for if you're gonna, show them off to people or things like that, like at a zoo or a park. Well, let me tell you, when alligators are in clearer water versus murky water, they actually tend to be a lot happier. Now, some things people don't know about gators, even the little ones. Like I've said before, I'll say it again, they're not mean or anything. They're not evil, people tend to think. These animals really just want to be, in the wild at least, left alone. And when you're taking care of them in captivity, for us it's best that we just handle him a little bit every now and again, but not too often. So he gets used to it, but he gets a little downtime. Because reptiles, stress can really affect them, their health in captivity, of course. Now that I'm cleaning this little water area, just kind of scrubbing around the bleach and a little bit of water, move it around, get rid of the algae. Anywhere you're gonna have water, you're gonna have this green stuff coming behind with it, right? So you wanna just kind of keep up with that green growth. So I got a little bleach on this and that'll take care of that. Now, right now, I don't know if you heard, but he was squeaking, hissing and squeaking. That's what babies do when they want their mama to come and help them. They're crying. They're crying for their parents, but that's okay. It's just a reaction if they feel uncomfortable or they're nervous. So right now he's nervous. He's not in his normal place. You see, he doesn't really try to bite me too much. He's got a beautiful set of jaws. Now, baby alligators are different from baby crocodiles because you can see that on his teeth. Oh. Okay, his jaw is very smooth. You see the bottom is perfectly flat. His mouth is kind of short. Crocodiles have very thin, long snouts. You see how his head is the shape of a U? Crocodiles is the shape of a V. Now you see how he's got this dark colors with those bright stripes? Crocodiles are gonna have like the whole body is gonna be the color underneath this alligator with a bunch of gray spots. So they're very, very different, even as babies. Now that the water area has been cleaned, this little mulch he can kind of dig inside of, hide inside of, feel better in. Get that nice fresh smell and feel. No need to change this for another little while. They really only poop in their water. So most of the time I'll just pull the plug on this, let the water drain out, and I'll run the hose over it. You see we got these holes in the side here, so if it does rain out here, he doesn't get flooded and the bucket won't fill all the way up and the animal could drown. So it's very important for animals that live in outdoor tubs like that where it could rain or anything. Really, like someone leaves a hose on and it accidentally spills in a bucket or a tub, it's good to have these overflow holes, so then he's totally good. And that also helped the bleach that I put in the water kind of dilute once the water has filled up, so it's not going to make him sick or anything, as bleach tends to do sometimes with animals. Reptiles are actually quite hardy. Okay, so now we just got to put a couple rocks back. We're ready to go. Okay, so we're pretty much almost done. We're ready to rock and roll. We just got to put them back, put this rock back in there, close it, and lock it up. But what I want you guys to know is there's a lot that gets involved with owning American alligators. These animals require a license for a reason, because you could seriously put yourself in a lot of danger just handling even a small guy like this. So if a gator is getting all nasty, you see how he's hissing, it's going to be good to just go right for the neck like this, because they got a blind spot right here. Now, I'm not squeezing him at all. I'm not hurting him. The alligator is just excited, ready to defend himself. Oh, you're so cute. Look at how pink his tongue is. It's like a little marshmallow. Those little teeth are razor sharp, and when they get broken off, they just grow right back in a couple days. Now, alligators, especially the babies, you see how Cannoli here, I call him Cannoli because his mouth is like so creamy on the inside, and his head looks like that dark chocolate. So he's so cute, and he's little and squishy. If you guys look at his belly, he's actually got camouflage. Now you might be thinking, hey, that doesn't look like camouflage to me. Well, to a fish, a big fish that could potentially eat him, or a big snapping turtle, will see this belly while they're looking up at the surface of water, which is where baby gators like to hunt for insects and minnows and frogs. And so he's got this design underneath that looks like the sun coming through the surface of pond water. That's exactly what it looks like. Isn't that cool? And then from the top and the sides, they've got all these striping patterns that do absolutely hide them in the grasses of the Everglades with that dark water. Okay, now that the chemicals we put in the water are all diluted, we did overflow it a little bit. We're going to go ahead and put the rock back, put him back since he's getting cranky. Like I've said, this gator is not very old. Okay? He's just about a year old, and they hatch out at only this long. So sometimes they'll grow just a few inches every single year. Oh my goodness, I love you. Oh my goodness. You see his eyes? They're like this beautiful little green color. Now this alligator is going to get 14 feet long potentially and over 1,500 pounds. It's 1,500 pounds of animal, and he'll be able to bite with enough pressure that's the weight of a truck. I'm just holding him in the palm of my hand right now. And it'll take them about 45 years to get that big. Alligators grow pretty slowly, but they get so big because they never truly stop growing. I think that's really incredible. Now, I'm done irritating my son. I'm going to put him back in his natural habitat, right? Okay. Now he's more calm. I'm not going to hold him by the neck. Ooh. Stinker. Yummy. Isn't he yummy? Oh, you hear him grunting? So sound is like, Daddy, Mommy, come get this guy. He's got some bad breath. All right, guys, I think that about does it. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hey guys, thanks for joining us on that crazy wildlife adventure. Now, we love teaching everybody all about these animals out here in the wild and even in captivity. This is my buddy here, Cannoli. He's an American alligator, and we both wanted just to say thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later, alligator.